There has been no end to the blame game over the death of a 6-year-old boy in a toilet pit. But the fact remains that in spite of rapid developments, the Limpopo government has been unable to eradicate the age-old toilet pit system. The Human Rights Commission visited the school to study the pathetic sanitation conditions.
What has been absolutely devastating is the discovery that the child in question was also disabled, and that as a result of the disability, he was unable to use the pit latrines, which were far too wide for a child of his size and age. And I think this adds to the anger and level of frustration that we experience as an institution, because we had made recommendations to a number of departments about these issues in the past. And if those recommendations had been implemented, this child's life would have been saved.
Ahmed also expressed hope that the government would bother to keep its promise of setting up proper toilets in schools.
The children now have absolutely no place to relieve themselves. And what we discovered when we visited the area, that children are now relieving themselves in a felt alongside the school. And that's clearly unacceptable as well. So until these temporary toilets are received by the school, and they claim that the temporary toilets will be received by tomorrow, these kids have no other option but to use the felt, which in itself is dangerous and unhygienic.
Meanwhile, the Equal Education in Tembisa says sanitation facilities in school in Tembisa remains terrible.
Some schools were built at about 1985 or 1965. Some of the buildings are still standing even now. If there was a yearly checkup, or rather, if schools were being renovated, such sanitation crisis could have been prevented, because there will be like a thorough checkup of how the school is, and the plumbing itself could also be checked. Should be checked every 6 months.
The tragic death of the 5-year-old boy in a toilet pit in Limpopo has raised the concerns about poor sanitation and infrastructure at schools. The reality of the matter is that this is not a provincial problem, but a national crisis. Hence, the Human Rights Commission said the government has the money to eradicate all the poor sanitations at school. Lindokuhle Mnisi, ANN7, Johannesburg.